Consider a girl who keeps slipping off, arms limp as carrots into the hypnotist's trance, into a spirit world speaking with the gift of tongue. She is stuck in the time machine, suddenly 2 years old, sucking her thumb as inward as a snail, learning to talk again. She's on a voyage. She is swimming further and further back, up like a salmon, struggling into her mother's pocketbook. Little doll child, come here to Papa. Sit on my knee. I have kisses for the back of your neck, a penny for your thoughts, princess. I will hunt them like an emerald. Come be my Snooky, and I will give you a root. That kind of voyage rank as honeysuckle. Once a king had a christening for his daughter Briar Rose, and because he had only 12 gold plates, he asked only 12 fairies to the grand event. The 13th fairy, her fingers as long as thin as straws, her eyes burnt by cigarettes, her uterus an empty teacup, arrived with an evil gift. She made this prophecy: the princess shall prick herself on a spinning wheel in her 15th year and then fall down dead, kaput. The court fell silent. The king looked like Munch's Scream. Fairies' prophecies in times like those held water. However, the 12th fairy had a certain kind of eraser, and thus she mitigated the curse, changing that death into 100-year sleep. The king ordered every spinning wheel exterminated and exorcised. Briar Rose grew to be a goddess, and each night the king bit the hem of her gown to keep her safe. He fastened the moon up with a safety pin to give her perpetual light. He forced every male in the court to scour his tongue with babble, lest they poison the air she dwelt in. Thus she dwelt in his odor, rank as honeysuckle. On her 15th birthday she pricked her finger on a charred spinning wheel, and the clocks stopped. Yes, indeed, she went to sleep. The king and queen went to sleep. The courtiers, the flies on the wall, the fire of the hearth grew still, and the roast meat stopped crackling. The trees turned into metal, and the dog became china. They all lay in a trance, each a catatonic, stuck in time, the time machine. Even the frogs were zombies. Only a bunch of briar roses grew, forming a great wall of tacks around the castle. Many princes tried to get through the brambles, for they had heard much of Briar Rose, but they had not scoured their tongues, so they were held by the thorns, and thus were crucified. In due time, 100 years passed, and a prince got through. The briars parted as if for Moses, and the prince found the tableau intact. He kissed Briar Rose, and she woke up crying, "Daddy, Daddy, presto, she's out of the prison." She married the prince, and all went well, except for the fear of sleep. Briar Rose was an insomniac. She could not nap or lie in sleep without the court chemist mixing her some knockout drops, and never in the prince's presence. "If it is to come," she said, "sleep must take me unawares while I am laughing or dancing, so that I do not know that brutal place where I lie down with the cattle prods, the hole in my cheek open. Further, I must not dream, for when I do, I see the table set and a faltering crone at my place, her eyes burnt by cigarettes, and she eats betrayal like a slice of meat. I must not sleep, for while asleep I'm 90 and think I'm dying. Death rattles in my throat like a marble. I wear tubes like earrings. I lie as still as a bar of iron. You can stick a needle through my kneecap and I won't flinch. I'm all shut up with Novocaine. This trance girl is yours to do with. You could lay her in a grave, an awful package, and shovel dirt on her face, and she'd never call back, 'Hello there.' But if you kissed her on the mouth, her eyes would spring open, and she'd call out, 'Daddy, Daddy, presto, she's out of prison.' There was theft. That much I am told. I was abandoned. That much I know. I was forced backward. I was forced forward. I was passed hand to hand like a bowl of fruit. Each night I am nailed into place, and I forget who I am, Daddy. That's another kind of prison. It's not the prince at all, but my father, drunkenly bent over my bed, circling the abyss like a shark. My father, thick upon me like some sleeping jellyfish. What voyage this little girl, this coming out of prison, God help, this life after death."